Hey dear friends, today I want to talk about how I'm practicing using Barry Harris stuff in my comping, and I find it can be kind of overwhelming. I did this whole video on Barry Harris for dummies, and today I want to show you how you can use those chords, those 5 ones that he's inserting in your comping. But we're going to take it really slow, step by step, and I think what I'm explaining, you can use that on any chord type. Today we're starting with a major 7. So first of all, I'm having a C major 7 chord, right? So I'm having my more obvious voicing. So I have this voicing, or I have this one, this one. So sort of I'm looking what I already know about a major 7 voicing, and I'm just like, trying to find all the chords that I would play if there's a C major 7 chord on the lead sheet. And then just to start really with a peaceful mind is I would set the metronome to like 52. And so this is an exercise that I do with many students, and I do that myself, which is really cool. So I'm just playing C major 7 chords on the 1. In my mind, I'm playing 4 bars of C major 7 chords. That's what I'm doing today as a first step, right? So having the metronome, and I'm playing just to get into it on the 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. So just playing on the 1, 1, 2, 3, 4. So basically that's kind of chaotic approach. I'm playing all the C major 7 chord shapes that would come to my mind. But so now sort of I organized a little bit what I know already. So the next step would be to use an A-7, drop 2 voicing to create a C6 chord. So I'm having my looper as always. I'm recording a C in the bass. So, and then when I play an A-7 chord now, right, I can hear this chord no longer sounds minor. It has a 3 major 3rd, it has a 6, it has the root and the 5. So basically what I'm doing now is I'm checking out all my A-7, drop 2 voicings, right? And I really always like to play them everywhere, even if I will never use them. Just, to have an overview over the whole fretboard. And then middle 4 strings. And maybe lower 4 strings. I don't know this one anymore, apparently. Yes, so I'm sort of getting a lay of the land, playing all the drop 2 voicings, and of course it's a good idea to just really practice those chords in a technical way, just like to play them again and again. But what I'm going to do now is I'm going to record 4 bars of C major 7, and then I'm going to play the chords that I played in step 1, right? So, and then I'm going to use those chords that I played earlier, maybe this one, and connect them in my brain to the A-7, which is a C6 now. So actually I shouldn't say A-7 anymore. Connect them to the C6. So the idea is that the stuff that I already know is going to be connected to the new stuff, right? So let's record the chords first. So this would be a voicing that I like to play on a C6, right? Like an E-7, maybe even like this. Then it would be a C at 9. Now I just thought I have the G here, right? But in the future, I could also use this A-7 drop 2 voicing. So integrating those new voicings. And then at the next step, I'm only going to play the drop 2 voicings. Yeah, so just to practice them again. And now the next step would be to chromatically shift into the drop 2 voicing, into the C6 from below. So when I'm playing it here, right? And we can hear that already sounds a little more jazzy. First of all, I'm going to strum it with the pick, but later on I'm going to slide it. So let's see how that sounds. So this is, for example, like a chord lick that I found that I liked. Right, and if I have the time, I would maybe sit down and just like play that. Right? Right, and so like this, I'm just always in action already, using it and also improvising a little bit in between and just like, you know, also learning to know how it sounds, right? And only when we play the stuff that we want to play in the future, only when we play it, we can understand how it feels and how it hears, how we listen to it. And it can sound not so great in the beginning, but that's just like, you know, the road we're going to take. And so the last step, which is really possibly the Barry Harris step, is that we're going to have a 5 chord preceding all of those C6 chords. So basically, right, 5, 1, 5, 1, right? Like what I feel like the oldest chord progression there is. So now we have to understand we're playing a C6 chord, obviously. So what's the 5? The 5 would be a G7. And of course, here we're going to use the drop 2 voicings as well, right? All string pairs, right? And so all those drop 2 voicings, they are all G7 chords, and they all have 4 notes, and they all have the notes G, B, D, and F in different order, right? But all those chords in drop 2, and that's sort of the magic of it, have the same notes. So if we have this G7 here, and I think many of you already know that, and we raise the root, the G to the A flat, we get a G7 flat 9 chord, right? Or you could also say it's an A flat diminished, but for the purpose of this video, we're going to say it's a G7 flat 9. And so like this, if you play your drop 2 voicings, you have the G here now, right? Since it's always in another place, I'm raising the G to the A flat, right? Sorry. So basically all the G7 chords all the G7 drop 2 voicings. If I raise the root by a half step, I get the same voicing, right? All those chords are G7 flat 9 chords. And now I'm going just to take one of my C6 chords. Let's say we're going to take this one. Right, this is just another, sorry. Right, drop 2 voicing. And we're going to move into it chromatically. But even before that, we're going to play a G7 flat 9, drop 2 voicing, but from above. So let's find it. That's how I find my chords. And so here we have it, right? And then we're playing. Right, it's like, it's also like an enclosure. And we're using this thing that of course works somewhere else as well as our mini cell to explore, right? I'm very much into small segments and mini cells that we practice and try to use rather than to have a huge something that fits in nowhere, right? So I'm going to play that a little bit. Yeah, and I could also play it down here, but then this chord is this chord, which let's say is not handy. So I would possibly play, just cheat a little bit and play a major 7 chord. So, right, so I play it like this here. Right, and so of course now we have a lot of minor 7, aka C6 chords, and now we can just like go and find the 5 chord to each of those packages. I just want to encourage you to not think about all the chords as like a long string of harmonized scale. I know that Barry Harris stuff is often been taught like this, but I think it's much more useful to think, okay, now I have this package, the next one would be this, right? Because this is A minor 7, C6, chromatic approach, and the nearest G7 flat 9 would be that. Yeah, this is strange. I would possibly not play the open strings, right? And then again. Good. Right, so you see, I will have to look for each of those little things and then I can just choose to use one. And the trick is that it's still C6 or C major 7 or looper, but we're sort of, if you want to, superimposing the 5-1, but it does do no harm since we're always landing back on the C6 chord. So let's hear how that sounds. Yeah, and so now I'm improvising and trying to have the snippets in between, right? And what I'm doing is I'm getting to know them, right? Because in the moment I play them, I hear them. And what informs our hearing the most is the top note. So if I play, I hear, right? So always be sure to know what's the highest note. So I could just like, you know, play that very often until I know how it's going to sound on a more subconscious level. And then when I'm going to insert it when I'm in the flow, then it's going to be much more organic. So let's give it a try one more time. I'm going to play this one here. I'm not going to play it here. This is the same thing. Okay. Yeah. So I hope you can understand where that's leading. I'm sort of practicing here with you, and I'm just like, now I just repeated the last one a lot, so I started hearing it, and then I can sort of think, if you want to think about harmonizing my melody line ad hoc, right? But it's of course premeditated. I thought about it before, I've been practicing it, but just repeating it over and over. And again, like I said at the beginning of the video, connecting it to the stuff I already know. I hope you have a lot of joy checking stuff out like this, and I see you around. Bye. And I forgot, if you want to have more stuff like this, you know, like little packages with a group. And by the way, the Jazz Guitar Coffee Club, and the Jazz Guitar Coffee Club is up and running. There's a new video every Sunday morning at 6 p.m. Central European time, and you get access to a new short video. It's not a tutorial, it's more like, here are the chords, here maybe some chords to lay on top, so it's really a cool tutorial if you have a looper. And here's an idea, a bebop line or whatever it is that you can play over it. So basically you're getting like a little package where you can experiment and still learn something at the same time. But it's not an ongoing course, it's just like an inspirational class every Sunday morning. You can join in the link in the description box for only €9 per month, and you have access also to all the stuff that already appeared there for lifetime long. And I see you around, hope to see you there. Bye.